Alright, hey guys, what's going on? So, I recently heard that season 7 of Game of Thrones had recently premiered, and I was getting hammered by many of my friends to watch it, but I told them I really can't because I haven't seen the entire series yet, all 60 episodes prior to this. And then my friends told me, like, hey, dude, you really gotta watch it. It's going down for real, you know? It's getting hype. Ed Sheeran's in this one. It's gonna be so hype. Well, no, they didn't actually say that, but I know Ed Sheeran is in the season 7 premiere. I have no idea why, but maybe I'll find out later. And anyway, long story short, to keep my OCD levels kind of situated, I decided to watch the entire 60 episodes prior to season 7 and hopefully get to season 7. I want to say before the season finale of season 7, but as you've probably seen on my channel, I don't really take deadlines all that well. So I guess I'll do this like very casually every once in a while, hopefully, maybe get 2 a week, maybe get 5 a week if I get into the series or something like that. I don't know. Maybe get 1 a week, or maybe none a week. I don't know. It's whenever I have the time. But I think that with the hype that this series has, it'll probably be more than 1 a week, maybe. Hopefully, if I like the series as much as everyone else does. And you also may have noticed that I'm doing this in a podcast form. And that's because, well, I wanted to do a podcast and I didn't really know what to do it about. So I thought, hey, why not do it with the Game of Thrones reviews? So, yeah. So if you guys like this format, please comment below and subscribe and do all that kind of stuff. But anyway, here we go. So a little bit of backstory before we get into the actual show in this episode. I'm not a huge fan on magic movies or TV shows. I mean, I consider Lord of the Rings, the entire first trilogy, to be my all-time favorite movie. Yeah, I consider the Lord of the Rings trilogy to be one movie, pretty much, because the original book was one book, so, you know, it's the same logic. However, all the other magic things that I've seen that have had magic and medieval stuff or whatever, it hasn't really gravitated toward me at all. I mean, Aragon, I heard everyone hated that, and I watched it and it was pretty much crap. I have not seen a lot of Harry Potter. I've seen like clips of it, but I really wanted to dive into it. I don't know, it just confuses me. But that's another rant for another review. So, yeah, going to Game of Thrones, I'm like, okay, how's this gonna be? I mean, am I gonna like it? It's gonna be more like Lord of the Rings, or is it going to be like, I don't know, Percy Jackson and the Olympians or something like that? And so I have watched the first episode, and honestly, my initial reaction is it's pretty much like Lord of the Rings if they had a lot of sex and cussing in it. And there were a lot of political talks, because there are a lot of political talks, and well, we'll get into that later. So, suppose I should tell you that it's going to be a spoiler warning, just in case if any of you haven't seen the show, which I assume there aren't a lot of you out there who haven't seen it, but just in case if you hadn't, like me, there will be a spoiler warning. So, okay. So, what happened in this episode? Well, let me ask you this question. What wasn't in this episode? I mean, there's just a whole lot of stuff. I mean, it's like over an hour long, man, and all these random like storylines and story arcs and all that other stuff. It's kind of confusing, honestly. Well, first we open on a very ominous and very robust, I guess, opening. And I love openings that just tell you exactly what you're getting into with any series or movie or anything like that. And it's in the cold, so I'm guessing it's behind the wall or the wall of ice or whatever that thing is. I still don't know. I still don't really know what the heck that is. I know we're gonna have like ice zombies coming toward us later with the Ice King or something, but other than that, I have no idea what the heck this is about. So yeah, so then we get a very bloody, very gruesome opening, and yeah, it's setting the stage for what Game of Thrones is going to be. I mean, except for the sex part, but instead they're showcasing the bloodier, more gruesome side of Game of Thrones. And yeah, it was pretty effective. I was kind of taken. I was a little on the edge of my seat. Actually, it was pretty eerie. I'm not gonna lie, it was pretty eerie. And right out the bat, I can honestly say the sound editing in this show that is perfect. I mean, my gosh, the sound editing in this show is just spectacular. If they haven't won an award for sound editing, which I don't know, I haven't really religiously seen the Emmys, but if they haven't been nominated, they should have been. This should win just in the sound editing alone. Okay, it was freaking fantastic. The sound editing made this opening shot, or this opening scene, rather. And then we get the opening theme song and all that, and it's pretty much just the stuff from the page coming to life and all that. I thought it was gonna be worse. Like they was just gonna have like the Game of Thrones little fire thing comes on the screen for like maybe 5 to 8 seconds, and then we're off to the show and all that. But no, it's actually a lot longer than I thought it was going to be. I heard it was just the little Game of Thrones thing, like Breaking Bad, just like that. Those two little elements coming off the element table and spelling Breaking Bad, and that's it. But nope, it's longer, which is good, and very very well orchestrated. I'm not gonna lie, it's very well done. I got pretty hyped. I'm not gonna lie. So far, you're probably thinking, hey, this guy's enjoying this. I mean, of course he's enjoying this Game of Thrones. There's nothing wrong with this series, right? No, there's some problems. Like, for instance, the everyone doesn't say each other's names. So I have no idea who the hell anyone is in this show. And granted, it's supposed to be more like real life, and no one in real life would be like, hey, Ned Stark, father of whoever was your father and all that, died in the battle of some kind of magical battle or something like that. And no, I don't know what happened to Ned Stark or his father. I probably will later in the series, hopefully, if I can keep track. But yeah, I get that we don't, hear all the exposition in like the first 5 minutes. Fine, granted. But you can at least say the names of these people, like, in a little roundup, right? I mean, you can, the mother can just say, hey, John, Sansa, and Arna, I think that's her name. See, I don't even know a lot of the people's names. It's kind of flabbergasting. I had to go in the video's description to see what the names were with all these people. It's, oh, Ayer. Ayer, Ayer. I don't know. It's the little sister. It's the little sister. So yeah, it's kind of confusing. It's kind of confusing. I, s- I, I don't know half these people's names to this day, really. But I just watched the first episode, so hopefully I'll get more wrapped up into the characters and the character arcs and all that, because that's supposed to be big. And I'll tell you, there are a lot of characters that kind of intrigue me. Like, for instance, Jon Snow, who I know his name's Jon Snow because he's in all the promotional things and all that, so I know his name is Jon Snow. You wouldn't know if you watched this show, this episode, but you know him for all the promotional material and all that, that his name is Jon Snow. So, yeah. I'm sorry, I'm still a little mad. I'm still a little mad that I don't know a lot of these people's names. But anyway, Jon Snow, he's very, very intriguing, very kind-hearted, very likable guy. I'm liking him. I'm liking him. He's a cool guy. I wish. And something that I really didn't know about, he's apparently a bastard. No, I'm not calling him a bastard. I'm saying he's literally a bastard. He's an illegitimate son to Ned Stark, played by the great Sean Bean. Dude, I mean, if you really wanted to pay homage to one of the great fantasy works of all time, cast Sean Bean. I mean, I think they're obviously paying homage to The Lord of the Rings. And he acts his ass off, man. He is just on top. He's on top of everything. Again, I don't know if he's ever got an Emmy for this, but I'm sure that he needs an Emmy for this, man. I mean, call up the Emmys. Get him an Emmy award, like an late Emmy award or something. He's fantastic. He's fantastic in this show. But anyway, as much as I harp on everyone just not having a lot of good introductions, we do get a good introduction of Jon Snow because people call him bastard left and right and all that, which is good. I finally know which one's supposed to be Jon Snow because he's the bastard. And yeah, there we go. So anyway, then they find like a dead direwolf, which is pretty much like a gigantic wolf or something like that. Okay, and then all the kids get like their own little pups and all that, which I found to be pretty touching. I'm not gonna lie. I still don't know why Ned was gonna kill them. I don't understand that. Why can't you just like keep them? I don't know. Maybe he's trying to be tough in like this dark, cruel world that they're living in and all that. I don't know, whatever. And they give a proper, very well-rounded introduction to King's Landing, which is like I guess, the capital city of the Seven Kingdoms. And they give an introduction to the Iron Throne. They like spill out all this exposition on the Iron Throne. Which then, I'm kind of confused. Why don't you just lay out exposition on all these characters? Why are you giving exposition out to the throne? I don't know. What I also found to be, I don't know, helpful, I guess, with navigating this world was that they have like these title bars at the bottom of the screen that tells you where we are in the world. Like they have like this subtitle that says King's Landing, and I know this is King's Landing. Okay, cool, sweet. And yeah, so I guess the Starks, which kind of reminded me of Tony Stark whenever I heard that. Okay, whatever. Anyway, the Starks are getting ready for the King's arrival, I guess. I guess the King's coming. So, yay. I don't know. Why is the King coming? Well, it's just kind of a spoiler for later, but I don't know. It just seemed kind of random when I first saw it, but I don't know. They're building the universe, so I don't know, whatever. And then I finally learned some people's names, finally, and One's name's Brandon. I think that's his name, or Brannon, or something like that. And, yeah, he's a kid, and he likes to climb things. Gee, I can't see that ending well anytime soon. I don't know, even when I was watching this show, I was like, okay, he's gonna fall, and something bad's gonna happen. I kind of know that. It's, that's just the way they're kind of setting this up. Yeah, okay. And we also get Ayer, I don't know, Ayer, that's how I spell it, I don't know. Ayer Stark, who is also pretty good. She's not a terrible kid actress like some other kid actresses out there in the world. And yeah, she's very good, very kind-hearted. She loves the dire wolves and all that. Very takes care of them very, very well. I'm kind of enjoying her. She's like a cup of fresh air, you know? A cup of fresh air. She's a light in the darkness, if you will. And then we get the other characters. Jaime Lannister, who's like I guess the surfer dude or whatever. Well, no, he doesn't surf. He's just there acting, looking cool and all that. Very egotistical, stuck up, kind of evil. Played pretty well. It's not terrible. And then we get the king. The king that I still don't know the name of. I try to look it up and I don't know. And the king is probably one of the more well-rounded characters in the show so far. I mean, he's kind of egotistical, but he's also very dignified. And he's also very, very war hungry. If someone gets in his way, he will destroy that guy. And you can feel it. And he's looking for advisors and all that. And the whole reason why he's there is because he wants Ned to be his, I guess, the hand of the king. Or something like that. And, yeah, and there you go. And this shows Ned to be very trustworthy. Very capable of handling things and all that, and a very trustworthy person in a very untrustworthy world, I guess, where everybody's just like looking over their shoulder and being like, yeah, I hate that guy, I'm gonna kill him, or oh crap, I don't trust that guy, I'm gonna kill him, or something like that. I don't know, that's just the vibe that I get from this episode. It's just like everyone's just like looking over their shoulders, not really trusting anybody. You really don't know what the heck's going on. And I don't know. Then we get some nudity. Pointless nudity. Oh man, I believe I'm gonna have a lot of stuff about this. Okay, so here's the deal. I'm not a prude. I don't normally like sex in movies or TV shows. I like the nudity and sex to have a purpose, you know, if we have to have it at all. And it just seems like in this episode, which is probably setting the stage for next episodes, that the nudity is probably not going to be all that necessary to the overall plot. Or at least most of it. I mean, there's this one scene where there's just like nudity and all that, and I guess some people having sex or whatever, that it's not really add anything to the plot. It's just nothing. It's just there. And I guess this is where people say it's like softcore porn. And yeah, I'm not gonna lie, it is kind of there. But then later in the episode, Brandon again climbs and sees the Jaime and the Queen. I don't know her name as per frickin' usual, so I'll just call her the Queen. And they're having sex, which is kind of weird because they're brother and sister, but I don't know, whatever, incest. There's apparently a lot of incest in this show, so I probably should get used to it. I guess I don't know, whatever. But anyway, that sex scene had a purpose. It's to set up the eventual king's demise, I guess. And of course, I know that the king is going to die, because if he didn't die, then we wouldn't have the race to the throne that I'm seeing in all this promotional material. But anyway, that sex scene showed a purpose. There's another nudity scene that's just there just for the sake of being there, I guess. I'll forgive it this once because it's kind of setting the stage for all the nudity and sex that's about to come in this series. So, all right, whatever. I'll forgive you this one time, but if it continues, which I'm pretty sure it will be, I'm not gonna like it. So, just to warn you, yeah. Speaking of sex, we get the ultimate sex symbol of this show, Daenerys Targaryen. And no, I'm kidding, I'm kidding. Even though I kind of would like to show her my King's Landing, if you get what I mean. Ha, ha, ha. Nerd jokes. Whatever. Anyway, yeah, Daenerys, I know her name, again, because I read it. She is beautiful. I mean, my gosh, she's actually pretty good too. And she's going along the storyline that I kind of think she's going down. She is a pushover to her brother, Viserys Targaryen, who's the brother, and loves sexualizing, like having sex with all these random women and putting himself on the top because he really wants to be king of King's Landing and the Seven Kingdoms, apparently. So, yeah, apparently marrying off Daenerys to the Darthrakis, I think that's their name. Correct me in the comment section below. I don't know, whatever. And, yeah, so apparently the Targaryens were like the kings and queens of the Seven Kingdoms for a while or something, and then I guess they met their demise somehow, probably by the king that's on the throne right now, I think. Again, jump in the comments section below and tell me if I'm wrong or not, because I don't know. It's my first time watching the first episode, so I really don't know. Just jump in the comments and say if I'm wrong or not. I would love to hear if I'm wrong or what's actually going on here. But anyway, so yeah, Daenerys, she's beautiful, and yeah, I kind of liked it. I kind of liked it. But anyway, I guess Daenerys has to get married off so that Viserys can be king of King's Landing. I really don't know the political talk or why that exists. Which again comes to another complaint that I have about this show, and there's a lot of political talk. There's a lot of political talk. It's kind of like, I'm sorry to say this, but it kind of reminds me of the Star Wars prequels with all the just government talk and all that I don't understand. It's just really weird. Now, let me just say this. Is it as bad as the Star Wars prequels? No. Is it as boring as the Star Wars prequels? No. We do actually get some good acting. We do actually see some stuff happening. It's just kind of boring with all the political talk. And I'm sure that I will find out more about it in episodes to come. I just haven't seen any other episodes up until now, but I will, don't worry about it. I will get on board with this, hopefully, don't worry about it. And yeah, now we get to the queen, I guess, who's looks hot here, but for some reason when she, yeah, I've seen her with short hair. I'm not stupid, okay? I know, I've seen the promotional material, and For some reason, when she has short hair, she's not that hot. I don't know why, but when she has that long draping hair, she's actually pretty hot. I'm not gonna lie, but anyway, she's stuck up like her brother. She's like having the power rush to her head and all that, and yeah, kind of setting the stage for your demise, I guess, Queenie. You're gonna have the power rushed out from under you. Can't wait to see that because you're kind of mean. Oh, and I almost forgot. Peter Dinklage, man. Tyrion Lannister. My gosh, man. This is like right before he like blew up in Hollywood, and I guess this is the role that he blew up with. And oh my gosh, no wonder he is fantastic. I mean, oh my gosh. You see, there's this one scene, I believe it's in this episode, or maybe I watched the preview of season 2 or something like that, where he is like, he's explaining his strengths. Like, because he's a dwarf and because he's small, he can't physically fight. So he trained his mind and he got very intellectually strong. That is awesome. That is awesome. That explains a whole lot. So right off the bat, my 3 favorite characters in this show, as of right now, are Daenerys, because I kind of see where her story's heading, and it's the story I love and hold most dear to my heart, which is the underdog story. The story of like the slave that becomes the queen and all that. And then we get Peter Dinklage as Tyrion Lannister. I mean, holy crap, that is awesome. Fantastic story right there. Then we get Jon Snow because he's a nice guy, He's a nice, cool, go with the flow kind of guy. And even though he's being beat down now, he's going to be rising up later in the show. And then we get Ned with Sean Bean playing him. And honestly, I would think I would put Ned on top, but no, the other 3 are just simply so much more awesome. I wouldn't expect anyone to really top Sean Bean in a fantasy world, but I guess they did. They did. People have done it, which is really surprising. And Ned, nothing to take away from Ned, he's a fantastic character, and Sean Bean plays him exceptionally well, but the other 3 played their characters more exceptionally well. I mean, oh my gosh, the acting is just fantastic. Simply amazing. And then it shows Ned is the only one who can protect the king. I already said that. And then we get a little bit of the Dothraki or whatever, the party and all that. Yeah, we get this is the scene where we get the needless nudity, which is, I guess, their culture, which is why I'm giving it a pass. But yeah, it's needless nudity. It shows a whole lot of sexual dances, a whole lot of orgies, just having sex right on the spot, I guess. And more deaths, I guess. There's deaths flying all over the place. I guess that's the Dothraki culture, I guess. It's the way of life or whatever, which is kind of weird, but again, they're barbarians. But yet there is some levity to it, that they do have a culture, and unlike Viserys, who's just like, yeah, these guys are barbarians, I want to rule them, Daenerys is like, I see the beauty in the chaos, which I find to be pretty good. And then all of a sudden, Gerard Marmount, I think that's his name, who plays his role pretty okay. I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of lacking, but again, the other people who act in this show is just simply spectacular. He's probably just giving his A+ performance, but honestly, everyone else is just simply overacting him. in that department. So maybe that's it. I have no idea. But anyway, he gives Daenerys 3 dragon eggs. So yeah, I guess there's dragons in this show now. I mean, up to this point, I get another complaint, I guess. Up to this point, I haven't seen any magic or anything fantasy worthy in this show. What the heck? I mean, I know that they probably have like a tighter budget than they do now, but I mean, it's a magical world. Where the hell's the magic? You know? I want to see the magic. Where is it? All we get are like these pretty awesome dragon eggs, but other than that, that's pretty much it. And that's just like a hint of the magic that's about to come. It's not like magic happening to us right now. I don't know. Maybe all the budget just went into getting all the scenery in this show just right, because oh my gosh, this scenery is simply beautiful. I mean, every background is just teeming with character and just beauty, man. It's simply beautiful. Especially the scenery at the Barthraki party and all that. That is simply beautiful. This is gorgeous. My gosh. I wish I lived there, man. It is so beautiful. So yeah, and then we come to the end, you know, the Lannisters, you know, pork each other and all that, you know, whatever. And yeah, there's a couple of things that I just want to say that I didn't like about this show, like the worst things about this show, and that is Sansa Stark. I mean, she acted as Jean Grey in X-Men Apocalypse. That's where I remember her from. And I guess this is the role that got her the X-Men role and all her other roles that in other things that she's in, I guess, but I have no idea why. Because she's awful in this show too. I mean, what the heck? Everyone's saying how good she is, and no, she's not good. She's a terrible actress. Look, I'm sure she's a nice person, but she's not a good actress, man. She's awful. However, I will say she was better in this show, I guess, than in X-Men Apocalypse. Fine, but she's still pretty bad. I don't know, she's just a whiny brat. You know, those whiny teenage brats that are always around and all that. She's just a stereotypical teenage brat, I guess, but I mean, you gave a whole lot of backstory and, you know, intriguing stories to all these other characters. Why couldn't you give one to her? Come on, George R.R. Martin, you get on this, man. And also, Daenerys, the woman who played Daenerys, while her story was intriguing, there were a couple of instances where I was like, okay, she's not really acting all that well. Which I can understand, I guess, because it's like her first role. And I guess I can give Sansa Stark kind of a pass, because this is her first role as well, I guess. But obviously she didn't grow and mature, because X-Men Apocalypse, she sucked. And here, obviously I can say that she did mature, because I also saw Me Before You, the movie that with, I think it was the Beast from Beauty and the Beast 2017, but yeah, anyway, I saw that movie. It was like a classic retelling of a 90s kind of rom-com kind of movie, and it with an English twist to it, I guess. And yeah, it was actually pretty good, and she acted very, very well in it. There was a little bit of problems with the ending, I guess, but overall, her performance in that movie was spectacular, so she obviously got better. So I forgive Daenerys, and also because she's hot, but yeah, you know, whatever. Anyway, I give her a pass. I gotta see more from Sensa, because Sensa, darling, honey, you're not that great. You're just not that great. I don't really like your character. All right, guys, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you guys think of this format. You want to see more of this? Let me know. Also, I'm going to try to have an IMDb page, like the best episodes of the series, I guess. You know, try to rank all the episodes in accordance with how I like it. And obviously, this is the only episode on the list right now, but you know, obviously there will be more. Hopefully, I'll rank them in accordance with how much I like them and all that. Hopefully, there will be more of these episodes. And anyway, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you guys think of it. Go visit my IMDb rank Game of Thrones ranking list, and yeah, see you soon.